record. Today we're going to kind of put all the pieces together that we've been working on. So on Tuesday, we introduced the first time of doing a sun salutation A. So we will do that, and remembering I will offer the regressions each time. You have the option to regress, and then the final time I'm actually going to pause, and we never actually did the full chaturanga, so we'll pause right before we do it, and I'll show you the full chaturanga. But again, until you feel strong in whatever regressed form that you're working on, don't progress it. Like, keep your shoulders safe. Don't progress it until you feel that you can maintain that 90-degree angle. You can't see it, 90-degree angle with the shoulders down. As soon as you feel the shoulders lift, or as soon as you feel the chest collapse, back. Don't do chaturanga, the full version, until you have the strength to maintain it in the regressed version prior to. We're also going to go through, this is what I call my general sequence. So we'll go through all the standing postures as well. So we'll go through the sun salutations, we'll go through the standing poses in kind of a vinyasa format. So each pose will spend around 3 to 5 breaths in. So you'll have that option to kind of just slow down and settle in. I will give you some cues, but today will not be a lot of alignment cues like I normally do. It's more of just kind of moving from one pose to the other. So just introducing you to that. So if you go into a class and you don't have someone that cues a lot, you'll be used to kind of finding that on your own. So with that, we're going to start in a seated position. If you have your blocks close by. And you can sit on a block. I find when I sit on a block, it helps me find the sit bones a little bit easier. It helps me align my pelvis so that my rib cage can stack above my pelvis a little bit more rather than rounding into the spine or going too far forward. So sitting up, rest your hands on your thighs and draw your elbows so that they rest underneath your shoulders. Close your eyes. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. Relax your throat. I forgot to mute. So breathe. And just start to allow yourself to arrive into this space, and doing that by feeling your body. So noticing where your feet touch the floor, what parts of your feet connect to the floor, where your legs, if you're sitting on a block, it's probably just your lower legs and your knees, feeling them. And that separation between your skin and where your skin connects to the floor. And feeling where your sitting bones rest on your block. Noticing if you feel any tension or gripping in the muscles of the hips or the legs or the feet. Allow yourself to feel supported by the earth, by the ground, and to release, to surrender. Noticing your shoulders, the tension you feel between your neck and your shoulders. Allow the sense of heaviness or softness to release the tension or gripping. Turning to find, if you find any tension in the jaw, the tongue, throat, the neck, the face. Allowing ourselves this moment just to transition from the outside world into our inside world, our body. Bringing our mind to connect to our body. And then shifting awareness to the breath. Just noticing the gentle rise and fall of the breath. Noticing your natural tendency of your breath. Noticing if your exhalations are complete, if you allow yourself that full surrender of the breath to release the exhalation completely, or if you feel that rushed pace to gasp for the next breath. See if you can settle on releasing, softening into the exhalation. As you surrender into the exhalation, notice the slight pause that comes at the end of each exhalation, from which the next inhalation is born. Allow your exhalation to completely release. And then inhale fully, filling up your belly, the sides of your rib cage, the top of your chest. Open mouth. Forcefully exhale as if you were fogging a mirror with your breath. Allow it to completely release. And then inhale again, filling up your belly, your ribs, the top of your chest. Open mouth, exhale, halfway through, close your mouth. Keep the slight tone at the back of your throat, creating the sense of Ujjayi breath. And then inhale for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue with this equal parts breath. So Sama Vritti, Sama meaning equal. Sensing that oceanic breath, sound between your ears. Sound of Ujjayi breath. As we move through our practice today, try to return to this Ujjayi breath as a way to keep our mind focused, keeping our movement focused on the breath. Create that sense of mind, body, breath connection. And slowly blink your eyes open. And you can remain on your block. Allow your hands to come down beside your body. We'll start to add that movement with the breath, just to start to sync our movement and breath. So turn your palms out, so external rotation of the shoulders. Keep your lower ribs down and in as you move through this. So inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, palms down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, palms up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, palms down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, palms up. 3, 2, 1. Lean to the right, palm to the floor. Reach the left arm over. Look under your left arm and take 3 deep breaths using Ujjayi breath. And then inhale, come up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale to the left. 3, 2, 1. And take 3 deep breaths. Inhale, come up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hands down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up. 3, 2, 1. Twist to the right. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up. 3, 2, 1. Left hand comes to the outside as you twist. 2, 1. Inhale, up. 3, 2, 1. Twist to the right. Left hand comes outside of the right knee. Inhale, up. 3, 2, 1. Last time to the left. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, up. 3, 2, 1. Hands down. 3, 2, 1. We're going to put it all together. Inhale, up. 3, 2, 1. Lean to the right. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, up. 3, 2, 1. Twist to the right. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up. 3, 2, 1. Lean to the left. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, up. 3, 2, 1. Twist to the left. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, up. 3, 2, 1. And hands down. 3, 2, 1. Good. So go ahead and remove the block out from underneath your hips. Bring it towards the front of your mat and just take the blocks off to the side so they're not in your way. And we will start to move through cat-cow with that same sense of creating the movement with the breath. So wrist align with the front of your mat, shoulders above your wrists, knees below your hips. Inhale, lift your head, lift your tailbone. And exhale, press your hands and feet into the floor as you round through your spine. Inhale, cow. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, press. Cat. 2, 1. Keep going, keeping your own sense of the rhythm with your breath. You may find that you need to shorten or lengthen your breath with your own flow. Start to bring the shoulders into it as we did the last time. So rounding the shoulders up towards your ears as you move into cat pose, and taking the shoulders down your back and towards your spine as you move into cow pose. The next time you come into cat pose, pause here. Push down through your hands, push down through your feet, and really round through your spine. Look between your knees, and then look up towards your belly. Walk your knees back a little bit. As you exhale, press your hips back towards your heels. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pull up to tabletop. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, press back to child's pose. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tabletop. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, press back, child's pose. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tabletop. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna add on, come up onto your knees, arms over the head. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hands. 3, 2, 1. Inhale here. 3, 2, 1. Press back, child's. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tabletop. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, child's. 3, 2, 1. Come up onto your knees, arms over the head. 2, 1. Exhale, child's. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tabletop. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, child's. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, child's. 3, 2, 1. We're going to add on. Inhale, tabletop. 3, 2, 1. Tuck the toes, push back, down dog. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tabletop. 3, 2, 1. Push back, child's. 3, 2, 1. Up on knees. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, child's. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tabletop. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, down dog. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Knees. 2, 1. Exhale, child's. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, child's. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, tabletop. 3, 2, 1. Tuck the toes, dad dog. 3, 2, 1. Breathe. Press your hands down into the floor. Isometrically twist the hands apart, feeling that stabilize the shoulders. Lift high up onto the toes. Firm the front of the thighs and press them back. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend your right knee and reach your left heel towards the ground. Inhale up onto toes. Exhale, bend your left knee, reach your right heel towards the ground. Inhale up onto toes. Exhale, bend your right knee, press your left heel towards the floor. Inhale up onto toes. Exhale, bend your left knee, right heel towards the ground. Inhale up onto toes. Firm the front of your thighs, lift and spread your sit bones, press the thighs back. Start to bend the knees as you walk your hands to the back of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Grab your opposite elbow with your hands, allow your knees to bend, and swing your head and arms side to side. Release the arms, release the head. Bring the fingertips into the hip crease. Elbows reach up towards the sky, shoulder blades draw down your back. Start to look towards the front of your mat, and with a long spine, lift all the way up. And then walk to the front of your mat. Take your blocks and shift them to shoulder width apart and right to the front of your mat, but off your mat. And if you don't have two blocks, you can just not use blocks. Outer edges of your feet parallel and feet up to hip distance apart. Firm the front of your thighs, so imagine the block between your thighs, and reach your tailbone towards the floor as your hip points lift up towards your ribs and your ribs drop down. Rotate your palms away from your body. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. So Ujjayi breath. As you exhale, bend your knees, send your hips back, bring your hands to the blocks. Press the knuckles into the blocks. Inhale, lift halfway, firm the thighs, press the thighs back, maybe straightening the legs. Exhale, hinge forward, fold all the way down. Keep the legs strong. Inhale, reach the head, chest forward, lift all the way up. Arms come over your head, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So just a few times moving through half salutations. Inhale, reach your arms up, legs stay strong. Press your thighs back, fold forward, hands to your blocks. Inhale, press hands down, lift head, chest forward, hips back. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, reach the arms up and over your head, look up, stretch up, ribs down and in. Exhale, hands to heart center. So adding on. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, look up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward, hands to the blocks. Inhale, press the hands down, lift head, chest, reach hips back. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees, bring the hands to the floor behind your blocks. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back, shoulders above your wrists, press down, twist out, drop your knees to the floor. Take your blocks to the medium level. Reach your elbows back as your shoulders go forward, 90-degree bend. Inhale, press up. Move the blocks back in front of the mat. And lower all the way down onto your belly. You probably make you take your blocks out. Heels in line with the bottom of the rib cage. Toes point back, press your feet down, thighs down, pubic bone down, lift your belly off the floor. Roll your shoulders to elbow height. Keep the shoulders drawing down as you lift your head and chest off the floor. And then press hands into the floor. Lift up, cobra. Bend your knees, tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back as you straighten your legs, downward facing dog. Press the hands down, twist out. Find the Ujjayi breath. Firm the front of the thighs, press them back, lift and spread your sit bones. Lower down onto your knees. Come up onto your fingertips, step your left foot up between your hands, step your right foot up between your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that was the first regression. You can maintain that or you can move forward. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, legs strong. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Uttanasana, either knees bent or legs straight. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees to bring the feet, hands to the floor. Spread your fingers, step your right foot back. Step your left foot back to plank pose. Press hands down, twist out. Wrap the outer shoulder blades around the rib cage. Bend the knees to the floor. Point the toes back. Shift forward so your shoulders are above the wrist. Shoulders, hips, and knees all in one line. Protract the shoulders. So wrap them on the outside. Point the elbows back. Reach the chest forward. Draw the shoulders down as you lower all the way down onto your belly. Heels in line with the bottom of your rib cage. Roll the shoulders down your back, shoulders elbow height, feet down, thighs down, hips down. Lift the head, lift the chest, press the hands, lift up, cobra. Come through hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, firm your thighs, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Press hands down, twist out. Press thighs back, lift and spread sit bones. Look between your thumbs. Come up onto your right fingertips, bend your knees, take your right hand to pull your right leg up between your hands. Step your left foot up between your hands. Inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, hips reach back. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Progressing it further. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head. Firm the front of your thighs, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Release hands and head towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Firm the thighs, reach head, chest forward, hips back. Exhale, bend the knees. Hands beside your feet. Spread your hands. Step your right leg back. Step your left leg back, plank. Press your hands down and twist out. Come down to your knees, and I'm going to show you chaturanga. So any version that we've done, either the one with the block or the one just before is fine. When we lower down to chaturanga, the entire body goes in one plank pose. So I like the sense of imagining that broomstick in my spine because it keeps everything aligned. But just remember the neck is part of that broomstick. So there's tendency for people to lead with their chin. I'm going to keep your chin tucked and drawing back so that your whole spine moves in one line. So from plank, in order to get my elbows to bend 90 degrees, I have to shift forward. Shoulder blades are stay protracted and draw down the back as my whole body lowers. But you can do the same thing and just practice that spine long with knees on the floor. So if you felt strong with knees on the floor, we can progress. If you need to regress, just stay where you are. So we're going to start in plank pose. So hands to the floor, shoulders above your wrists. Draw your chin towards your throat and push down through your hands. And imagine taking your spine up towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulders down the back. So that's that protraction and depression of the shoulder blades. Take one leg back, tuck the toes under, and firm the front of the thighs. And before you take the other leg back, just see if you can find that line between your heel, your hip, and your shoulder. Keep the leg strong and step the other leg back. Press down, twist out, shoulder blades down and out. Shift forward. Reach the elbows back as you lower with one full body down. Good. Heels of the hands in line with the bottom of the rib cage. Roll the shoulders down the back, shoulders elbow height, feet down, thighs down, hips down. Lift head, chest. Press into the hands, lift up. Shoulders still drawing down the back. Tuck the toes under and lift up and back to downward facing dog. Firm the thighs, press them back. Lift and spread your sit bones. Press hands down, twist out. Look up between your thumbs, lift up onto your toes. Come up onto your right fingertips. And then either stop or pull the right leg up. Left leg up. Inhale, halfway lift, firm the thighs. Exhale, hinge forward, fold, forward, fold. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms over your head, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Sun salutations. They're obviously something that heats us up, warms us up, gets us ready for our practice. Come to the center of your mat. We'll start with tree pose. So shift your weight onto your right leg and bend your left knee forward. As you bend the knee forward, notice if the right hip wants to pop out, hug it in. Draw your navel towards your spine, hips towards ribs, ribs towards hip. Lift the knee forward. Keep the balance, squeeze the outer hips. You can grab left ankle and take it anywhere on your ankle, shin, or thigh. But wherever you want to practice your balance, just don't rush to the wall. Just don't take it up as high. Squeeze your glutes, so firm the outer right hip. Squeeze your left glute to press your knee down, and then arms over your head. Notice as you bring your arms over your head, if your ribs want to flare, draw them down and in. Ujjayi breath. Hands to heart. Left knee forward and down. All right, other side. Balance on your left foot, outer edge of your left foot align with the outer edge of your mat. Hands to the hips. Bring the pelvis into neutral. Start to engage your left glute as you bend your right knee forward. Once the knee comes forward, make sure the pelvis stays in neutral. Grab the ankle and bring your foot to your inner leg. Hands to your heart. Reach the tailbone down towards your heel. Feel that lift the hip points up and the lower ribs draw down and in. Inhale, arms over your head. Ujjayi. Sometimes pausing to focus on the breath and finding a focal point, a gaze point, helps to create that inner balance of the mind that allows you to balance a little bit more physically. Hands to your heart. Bring the left leg down, right leg down. Hands to your heart, stack in front of your chest. Bend the knees and either step or hop the legs wide. Position your ankles directly below your wrist, which is going to feel wider than you want to be. And if you're off your mat, turn so that you're on your mat because it might get slippery. Bring your left toes in just slightly. Turn your right toes to square to the front edge of your mat. Rotate your leg in your hip socket. And think of the day that we did that hip flexion a lot. And rotate the leg in the hip socket to bend your right knee over your right ankle joint. Bring your right hand to the outside of your right knee. Press out and wrap your outer right hip under. Bring the arm up. Look over your left hand and then look down at your left foot. Press to the inner edge of your left foot and then press to the outer edge of your left foot, feeling your left leg strong. Keep your rib cage rotated towards your left hand, gaze towards your right hand. Keep the leg strong. So press down through the 4 points of your feet and drag in towards the midline. Inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, bend your elbow to your right knee. Take your left hand to your right rib cage, rotate it to the sky. Hug the right hip in more. Push the right knee out more. Press through the inner edge of your back foot, outer edge, left arm to ear. Ujjayi. The legs stay strong. Breath stays even. Bring your left hand to your hip. Gaze down towards your right foot, reach your hand towards your right ankle, and then push down through the ball mount of your right foot to straighten your right leg. Left hand to the rib cage, rotate open. Lift, left hand, so wrist is directly above left shoulder. Press your feet down, drag your heels in. Rotate the right knee out. Press the inner thigh towards the long edge of your mat. Press the back of your thigh towards the floor. Ujjayi. Look up towards your left hand. As if you're reaching something out of the sky, reach to pull up. Bring the hands to the hips, turn the right toes in. Turn them in a little bit more. Turn the left toes to face the left short edge of your mat. Keep your pelvis in neutral and bend your left knee out towards the pinky edge of your foot. Rotate it. Left hand to the outside of your knee, press it out as you wrap the outer left hip down. Arms out to a T. Look out over your right hand, rotate your rib cage that way. Press through your back foot, so your right foot. Inner edge, drag. Outer edge, drag. Keep the rib cage rotating towards the right hand. Look over the left hand. Sink a little deeper into your front knee. Wrap your outer hip down and towards your right foot. Inhale, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, side bend, bring your left elbow to your left knee. Allow yourself to grow deeper into your hip socket. Press the knee out as you hug the hip in. Right arm reaches back and then to your ear. So imagine a straight line from your left heel or right heel pressed down. Feel that line through your hip, shoulder, fingertips. You're stretching in opposite directions. Left foot is still pressing into the floor and dragging back. Look down at the left foot. Reach the left hand towards your left foot. Press through the ball mount of your left foot to straighten your left leg. Wrist rotates above your right shoulder. Rotate your rib cage up towards your right hand. Press your feet down, firm your thighs. Press the back of the left thigh towards the floor, inner thigh towards the long edge of the mat. As if you're reaching for something out of the sky, lift. Arms out to a T, toes point forward, hands to the hip. Bend the knees and either step or hop to the center of the mat. Awesome. Come to the front of the mat. We're going to do the internally rotated poses in a vinyasa style. So you can have feet up to hip distance apart, outer edges of your feet parallel. Firm the thighs. So think of that block. Tailbone down, hips towards ribs, ribs towards hips. As you exhale, bend your knees as if you're sitting in a chair. Reach the arms up beside your ears, so chair pose. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips and fold into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold. Bend your knees to bring your hands to the floor. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back, plank pose. Press hands down, twist out, spine towards the sky, outer shoulder blades on the ribs. Either stay in plank and shift forward or drop to the knees and then lower down either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, all the way to the floor. Shift your hip, wrist in line with the ribs, legs strong, lift head, lift chest, press hands down, lift up, cobra. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up and back in the downward facing dog. Firm the thighs, press them back, lift and spread your sit bones. Press hands down, twist out. Shift your weight into your right foot. Lift your right leg and left foot. Lift your right leg up and back. Come up onto your right fingertips. As you exhale, swing your leg through and step it up between your hands. You can use your hand to get your leg up there, so you know the regression. So we're in a high lunge. Come up onto your fingertips. We're going to rotate the left heel down and in, so you can bring the heel to the floor and toes point slightly forward and out towards the long edge of your mat. Bend your right knee so it's directly above your right ankle joint. And take your right hand and press your knee into your right hand. As you do that, feel your right hip go from the outside to hug in. Press through the back foot a little stronger, so back leg is strong. And then climb your hands up to your right knee. Press through the back foot, especially the outer edge, to firm the back leg. And then bring the hands to the hips. Rotate the pelvis towards the rib cage and rotate the rib cage straight forward. So you can align it with the front edge of your mat, so rib cage is squared forward. Reach your arms over your head. So we're in Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Ujjayi breath. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten your right leg. Step your left foot up enough that you can square your ribs and your hips to the front edge of your mat. Bring your right fingertips into your hip crease and pull the hip crease back. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Press your feet down and firm your thighs. So imagine the block and how strong your legs get with the block. And then as you exhale, pull the right hip crease back as you take your left hand down to a block. Should have told you to get your blocks first. So left hand is on your block, right hand is on your hip. Pull your hip back a little bit more. Look at the wall in front of you and reach the chest forward. Press your feet into the floor, firm your thighs. Take both hands to your block in front of your right foot. Inhale here. As you exhale, keep the legs strong and just bend the elbows back, only going as far forward as you can pull. Notice where the weight is on your feet and shift the weight so that you feel an even amount of weight on both feet. Ujjayi breath. Feel like when we get into these poses that are really hard because something's tight, we hold our breath. That doesn't work very well. Press your hands into your block, straighten your elbows, bend your right knee. Remove the block, take the hands on either side of the front foot. Step your left leg back a little bit more, coming onto the back toes. Left hand comes to the block inside of your right foot at the medium height. And then twist, reaching your right arm up. So twisting your belly towards your thigh. Notice if your knee pops out and try to press more through the inner edge of your foot and hug your inner right hip in. So think of trying to touch your left inner thigh with your right sit bone. Release both hands to the floor on either side of your right foot and step the right foot back into downward facing dog. Press the hands down, twist out. Firm the front of the thighs, press them back. Lift and spread your sit bones. Just notice what you feel, right side to left side. Notice your breath, and if you've lost your Ujjayi breath, bring it back. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back, three-legged back. Come up onto your left fingertips. As you exhale, use the momentum of swinging through to step your left foot up between your hands, or use your hands to bring the leg up. You can't get it up there, use your hands, like use your arms to get it all the way up between your hands. There you go. Up on your fingertips. Rotate your right heel down and in. When you do this, your left heel will align with your right heel. So you could draw a straight line from one to the other. Stay on your right fingertips, take your left hand and bring it to the outside of your left knee. And as you press the knee out, feel how that engages your outer hip to hug the hip in. Press through your back leg strongly, or back foot strongly. Feel the stability of your legs and then climb up onto your knee. Knees above the ankle joint. Press through the back foot, outer edge, inner edge, drag inner edge, back leg strong. Hands to the hips, tilt the pelvis towards your ribs, and then rotate the ribs to in line with the front edge of your mat, arms over your head. Ujjayi. Keep the legs strong, feet pressing down, ribs squared forward. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten the left leg, step the right leg up enough that you can bring both feet to the floor and your hips square towards the front of your mat. Bring your left fingertips inside. Let's bring the block there first. Block inside. Bring the left fingertips into the left hip crease. Right arm up. Press your feet into the floor and imagine your legs like a pair of scissors closing. Inhale. As you exhale, pull the left hip crease back as you reach the head chest forward. Right hand to the block. Press the hand into the block. Press the feet into the floor. Pull the left hip crease back more. Inhale here. As you exhale, bring the hands, the block in front of your foot. Keep the legs strong as you bend the elbows back and fold forward. Then look back at your right foot. Keep the legs strong. Notice where the weight is and try to shift by engaging your legs to have an equal amount of weight on both feet and all 4 points of both feet. Inhale, straighten your elbows, lift your head and chest. Bend your left knee. Bring the block inside of your left foot as you step your right foot back a little bit more, come onto your toes. Lift your back thigh high, so firm the back of the thigh. Bend your left knee above your ankle joint and then twist to the left. Notice if the left hip pushes out, and instead push the knee out and hug the hip in. Keep lifting the back thigh high. Look down at your foot. Release the hands on either side of your left foot. And one more time, step back to downward facing dog. Press down with the hands, twist out. Firm the thighs, press back. Ujjayi breath. Bend the knees, release the knees to the floor. Knees wide, toes together. Step the hips back towards the heels. Child's pose. Shift forward to hands and knees. Cross the ankles and sit the hips behind the heels. Take your block and place it between your knees. Shift your hips towards your heels and lower down onto your back. Walk your heels as close to your hips as you can. Palms to the floor. Press your palms down and walk your shoulder blades closer to your spine. Squeeze the block between your knees. Press your feet down and squeeze your glutes. So even before you lift your hips, squeeze your glutes, and then use that to lift the hips. Squeeze the glutes a little bit more. See if you can lift just the hips a little bit more. Press your feet down, drag your heels towards your shoulders, and see if you can lift your hips a little bit more. Keep squeezing the block. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Draw your chin towards your throat to lengthen the back of your neck. Hips towards ribs, ribs towards hips. Can you lift your hips a little higher? Let your hips grow heavy. Release your hips to the floor. Unroll your shoulder blades. Keep the block between your knees. Hug your knees towards your chest. And grab behind your knees with your fingers. And you're going to roll on your spine a few times. And then use the momentum to roll all the way up. Keep the block between the knees. Take your hands behind your knees and lean back so that your elbows are straight. Draw your lower rib cage down and in, and peel your hip points towards your thighs. Lift, shins parallel to the floor. You can stay here, or you can release your hands. Keep squeezing the block. Ribs to hips, hips to ribs. Reach through the crown of your head. Take 3 more breaths. Try to find Ujjayi, which is hard here. Might be a little faster. Release, feet to the floor. Release, block from knees. Take your right leg long out in front and bring your left foot to your inner right thigh. Pull your toes towards your shin or towards your head and push the back of the knee towards the floor. Fingertips to the floor. Lift up slightly and pull the hips back even more. And as you do, you feel your pelvis start to tilt over your front thigh. Bring the hands on either side of your front knee. Pull the toes back, push the knee down, firm the front of your thighs. Reach your heart towards your toes. Maybe this is your stopping point. Maybe you walk your hands to your calf. Firm the front of your thigh, press the knee down, pull the toes back. Inhale, reach your chest or your heart towards your toes. So spine grows a little longer. You can think of that pelvis rotating over your femur. And maybe you fold a little deeper. So we're not trying to get our head to our knee. We're trying to keep our spine as long as we can for as long as we can. So if you feel the rounding of the spine, back up to where you can keep more of that extension of the spine. And if you can, bring your hands on either side of your ankle. Pull the toes back, press the knee down, firm the front of the thigh. Inhale, reach, heart towards toes, and exhale, fold. Once you've found your lowest point, now you can drop your head towards your shin or your knee or your thigh and breathe. And notice as you shift into Ujjayi breath, you may find more of a release. Bring your hands on either side of your knee. Use your hands to press yourself up. And bring your left leg beside your right leg. Left leg stays long. Right foot comes inside of left thigh. Fingertips to the floor. Press down, lift your hips, and just scoot them back. And you should feel that this starts to tilt the pelvis. Hands on either side of your left knee. Pull your toes towards your head. Press the back of the knee towards the floor. Inhale, reach your heart towards your toes. And as you exhale, hinge your pelvis over your leg bone. Walk your hands perhaps on either side of your calf. Firm your thigh, toes back, knee down. Inhale, reach heart towards toes. Exhale, fold as you can. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you bring your hands on either side of your ankle. One more time. Firm the thigh, hold the toes, press the knee, reach the heart, exhale, pull. So there's this magical thing called reciprocal inhibition. And this is what the muscles do when the nervous system responds. When you engage a muscle on one side, so in this instance, your quad, the front of your thigh, when you keep it engaged, it lengthens, or it allows the muscle on the other side, the hamstring, to relax. So by engaging the front of the thigh, by pulling the toes back and pushing the knee down, you're engaging the quad, which allows for that release of the hamstring muscle. Bring the hands on either side of your front knee, press up. Bring both legs forward. Pull the toes back, push the knees down, sit up straight. Bring your hands behind your hips, bend the knees, windshield wiper side to side. And come down onto the floor. We're gonna do my favorite spinal twist, which is a lot of words. So lift your hips and move them slightly to the left. Straighten your right leg to the ground and step your left arch of your foot above your knee and on your quads of your right thigh. Cross your right hand to the outside of the left knee and reach your left arm out to the side to the body. Twist by pulling the left knee to the right. Now, if this feels like a good stretch, you can stay here. You can add on to this stretch by bending the right knee and kicking the right heel to the hip and using your left hand to grab the front of your right foot. So it's kind of like the game Twister. And it's hard for you to see what I'm doing, I'm sure. But it feels wonderful. We use Ujjayi breath to soften into those places that need to release. We don't need reciprocal inhibition here, so no need to have anything engaged. Release the right foot, straighten the leg. Twist back to center, bring both feet to the ground. Lift the hips, move them slightly to the right. Straighten the left leg long. Step your right foot on the quad above your left knee. Take your left hand across the right side of the thigh and twist to the left. Perhaps this is where you wish to stay. Perhaps you bend your left knee and grab your left foot with your right hand. Breathe into it. Release your left foot, straighten your left leg, twist back to center. Bring both of your feet to the floor, bring your hips into neutral, hug the knees to the chest, rock a little side to side. On your next exhalation, fully release, extending legs long, arms down by your side, palms facing up. For our final resting posture, Shavasana. Take just a few Ujjayi breaths. See if you can come back and to that equal parts breath where the inhalation and exhalation are the same. Once you have arrived into this space, both body, mind, and breath, allow your breath to soften, release the tension in your throat to where you hear the breath minimally. Allowing the mind to rest on the softening state, complete state of the exhale. Find that moment of pause, of stillness that exists within every breath you take. Start to deepen your breath. As you inhale, reach the arms over the head, extend through heels or toes. As you exhale, bend your knees and roll onto your side body, keeping your head and your heavy and your eyes closed. Just take a moment to pause here. Feeling your body, noticing your breath, recognizing your mind. And then using your hands and your arms, keep your head heavy and your eyes closed as you press yourself up to a seated position. And bringing your hands to rest at heart center, feeling as your hands connect your self-meet self. As you inhale, lift your heart towards your hands. And exhale fully, bowing your head into your heart space, allowing for that recognition of the pause, that space within which you can recognize what's inside your true self. And thank you so much. It's been lovely. I appreciate you being here. Namaste.
Oh,
How was that?
that was awesome.
That's good. Some of that's a little challenging.
Yeah.
I practice putting my foot in front of or in between my hands.
Yeah. And knowing that I taught the regression as well. So the coming down to the knees and putting it up is the first step. Taking the hand back and using the hand to pull it up is the progression. And then yes, the leg back and the swing through is the next progression. So just working with it where you are and not worrying about rushing to that next. Like when it becomes easy to get it up one way, try the next way. Yeah. And that's kind of the way, I mean, yes, we advanced in this class, but with that idea of work where you are. Don't worry about like having to feel like you need to do all the things right away.
Well, I appreciate you making these available to do later.
Yes. And what I will do is I will send the final email. I will have all the classes so that you'll have one place that you can go to for all of them.
Cool.
So that it's easier to navigate. And I will send like a request for a testimonial. And then I will send like a survey perhaps of days and times that might work for all of us and see what we can work out. And there's always the potential that I can record these and continue to send them. So we'll kind of figure it out. If people are interested in continuing, I'm interested in continuing.
Me too.
Yay. Any questions?
I feel like my shoulders have gotten so much stronger with your classes.
Good. You know, I think that a lot of times we don't focus on the shoulders, and people have shoulder issues. And a lot of times they have shoulder issues because the only thing they're told to do is this, which is not always the best thing for you. It can actually cause more impingements the more you do this. I mean, this isn't great either, but somewhere in between of having the muscles above, below, and on the sides and on the front of the shoulder all working equally rather than one overpowering is really where the shoulders become more functional. And we want to create mobility. This does anything but create mobility. So a lot of what I did was create mobility so that you have what the shoulder is designed for, which is mobility, so we can reach and do things. Shoulders are stability, or hips are stability, shoulders mobility. But to have a combination of both is where everything's going to be more functional.
Okay, that's interesting. So hip stability, shoulders mobility.
Yeah, because we reach with the shoulders.
Yeah.
We're supposed to do things with the shoulders. So if we're always working on just stabilizing them, we don't get that range of motion that we need to be able to function, and we create impingements. So yeah, combination is what's best, strength and mobility.
Okay, excellent. Good. You do a great job.
Oh, thank you. You all did a great job too. Thank you. I'll keep you
Thank
posted.
you.